Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Yes, I have a big little dot on my forehead. That is because a mosquito decided to leave a little mark for me this morning. So just in case you wonder, the giant spot on my head, that's just because, uh, yeah, a mosquito decided to leave something for me in the morning. Uh, but that will not stop me from doing this review. This review being You Hurt My Feelings, which was written and directed by Nicole Holofincer. I'm not sure if that's how you say her name, my apologies. Um, Mostly known as a television director, which is very telling to me. Um, she's also done screenplays in the past, notably Can You Ever Forgive Me, which apparently was received fairly as well as doing a couple of features, Walking and Talking, Friends with Money, and I've Said. So, so she's had, she's done some work. She's also co-written The Last Duel, most recently, which was directed by Ridley Scott. Um, So she has a catalog of sorts with directing both feature and television type films or television type work. Um, Tells a story of a couple played by Tobias Menzies, who plays Dawn, who's a therapist, and mostly focusing on Julia Lois Dreyfus. That's how I say her name. I'm like butchering a lot of names. My apologies. She plays Beth, who is a novelist, and she's also teaches writing classes. And both of them are struggling uh, with with their current positions in life. And what the film ultimately is presenting is the consequences of really having a lack of honesty within relationships, and thus forming these insecurities and these obsessive types of thinking, and these sensitivities, with not being honest with individuals, and also being honest with yourself. Um, and with that being the idea on its mind, you have a screenplay that for the most part is fairly playful, and I would say to a degree pretty smart. Um, I like certain scenes in the film. I think certain scenes, like there's a scene involving Owen Teague, who's actually gearing up to play the lead in the new Planet of the Apes movie. There's a good scene with him. He plays Elliot. He's the son between Beth and Don. Um, there's a really good scene where he basically starts to become a lot more honest with them, and how he feels, and how they're treating him with such positivity, but within that, a sense of insecurities and a sense of entitlement that doesn't necessarily have to be there. He's basically asking for his parents to be honest, just to be okay with that, and him being okay with that at the same time. Um, and I thought that those types of moments, I felt, was where the screenplay really shined, because it started to lay out more details to its themes, and more demonstrations of said themes. Um, and I think the performances in general are interesting to follow, fairly engaging throughout. Um, but where the film starts to disengage for me is a lot to do with the demeanor that it possesses. I think that it's more distant than it is distinct. It doesn't. It has a consistency to it that I feel makes the elements, specifically its comedy, more obvious than it should. Like it just feels like a lot of the things that they're doing throughout the film are done for comedic purposes, and less so um, for uh, for characteristics, because most of the characteristics are annoyingly similar in nature. Like everybody in the film is a type of insecurity or a type of sensitivity, or they all possess this obsessive like quality where they're having to think about so much, or they're having to overthink about certain dilemmas. Um, which in turn creates characters and just people that I have a really hard time sympathizing with and really caring about, because it's just about babies, children. I mean, there's the thing that's been echoed, that kind of echoes throughout the film, is the word children, um, and um, and that's fine to a point, considering just the presentation of such a thing, but does become a bit tiresome because of the redundance in such format. It doesn't try to blend or turn into anything else. It's just basically staying within a certain identity, and all the things surrounding it are one and the same. They're not distinct or of their own types of people. They're all boiling down to the same type of ideas, which in turn makes it feel not as in depth as the screenplay is, because I think the screenplay does have a lot of merit to it, but the actual overall craftsmanship just feels more hollow than it does informative. I also think that the atmosphere that is made feels much more stagey and much more suitable for television than it is I would say for cinematic language, because what I felt like I was watching was a pilot to a TV show, and not necessarily again, something that binds within cinematic language. But for what I found, within its themes, specifically within its screenplay and within its performances, there are moments of genuine laughter, and moments of some sincerity because of those performances being present. But I just felt that it was a hard film to emotionally engage with because of the lack of distinction and its overall just behavior. It just, everything acts and feels the same, and by a certain point you just lose interest because of a lack of distinct qualities. And it's something that should have been released on television, or at least is much more suitable for a television series than that of a film. Because once it ends, you're kind of asking yourself, where's episode 2? Not necessarily, sitting with the ideas that the film has. It just has that overall quality to it. So it's a good episode, but a fair film, if just to wrap it up. So yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on it. I thought it was okay. Nothing too crazy, but fine nonetheless. Thematically interesting. I think that the screenplay it's definitely its strong suit, but everything else is fairly redundant and fairly repetitive. But yeah, those are my thoughts on You Hurt My Feelings. You guys know your thoughts on the film if you guys saw it. And yeah, so that's going to be it from me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And stay tuned for the week of reviews. I believe, the next video will be the start of the week of reviews. So hope you guys will be enjoying those reviews. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video.